capital SID.
Capital just S.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do it from here?
Yeah.
Great.
There we
You're
go.
already good to
Wow.
go. You're already recording, so you're good to go.
Great, thank you.
All right, let's get
Unable to-
started. Good evening, everybody. It is the 11th of February, 2026, and we are here for the BCI committee meeting. My name is Michelle Parker. For those of you who don't know, I am a co-chair with Natasha Kazmi, who could not be here today. But hopefully I can do a good enough job without her. And we have very many talented people on this committee. So let us introduce ourselves, however, starting with you, Doug, and we'll work our way around.
Hello, I'm Doug Kleiman, member of this committee.
I'm Dan Gerstein, a new member of the committee.
Orsiani, Department of Sanitation.
Barbara Adler, committee member.
Josh Cohen, committee member.
Miranda Goodwin-Rob, committee member.
Michael Gonzalez, and invitee
Bid.
tonight. Bid.
Bid.
Columbus Amsterdam.
Oh, good.
Hi, Lottie Almonte, Community Board 7.
Thank you.
Eric Schmidt, committee member.
Now we have some other people on the video, on the Zoom. Seema, you want to,
Hi, Seema Reddy, board member, but not a committee member.
I thought we had
We have Alex Bell,
Alex Bell.
our,
Oh,
Or-
CB7
Yeah.
chair.
And what happened to Caputo? What happened to
let me see if
Liz?
she's, I don't see her here. Maybe she signed off, she'll come back.
Yeah, maybe. And who else? Who else do we have on the committee who's here?
I don't see anyone else online from
Yeah.
the committee.
I don't see. Okay, so we have a short agenda. We have two applications. Then we have, Marissa is gonna give us a little, howdy-do and instructions on, commercial waste requirements and available resources for local businesses. And then we have Michael Gonzalez, the new, chair of the Columbus Avenue bid, who's gonna tell us.
Amsterdam.
Columbus,
Columbus,
Amsterdam. What did I say?
Columbus, Columbus and
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
yeah, you're right.
Elizabeth Caputo is joined.
Oh, Elizabeth Caputo, please put your name on the record
Hi, Elizabeth Caputo. I'm here.
as a committee member.
Yes.
All right.
I hope so.
Yeah, tonight's a big night for all of us.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm only kidding.
Something we're celebrating.
We're all fired.
Oh, wow.
Is your father getting married tomorrow?
Is that right? Your dad's getting married tomorrow?
Day after tomorrow, but yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah. All right, our first, we have to adopt the agenda from last committee meeting.
So moved.
Okay.
For this.
Oh, for
This is-
oh, this,
the agenda.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody object to the
So
adoption of, all right,
It's just, well, you want to get unanimous
yeah.
verbally?
Well, anybody opposed to the I think that's a better, an easier way to go. Opposed to the adoption of tonight's agenda. I don't see anybody.
No, seeing no objections.
No objection.
Unopposed.
All right, so let's look at the application for 333 West 86 between Riverside and West End Avenue. That's the Atria West. Who's here for that application? Hi,
Hi there.
who are
Hi.
you and
Yes.
what you want? And
Okay. Yes. So my name is Camille Evangelista. I'm with the Dano Group, and I'm here representing WG 86th Street, SH LLC, doing business as Atria West 86. I also have on this call with me Andrea Bazile and Laura Miller, who can also speak to any questions regarding the premises and the applicant. But this is an on-premise full liquor license that we have applied for the address mentioned. This is for a senior living community, just to be able to service alcohol on premise, as mentioned. The hours of operation are 11:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Method of operation will be background music, potential of live music, but nothing else. And we're open to any questions that the committee might have about this premises.
What space are you using? My mother-in-law lived there for a little while, so I'm kind of familiar with the space. What space are you using to serve the alcohol?
Right, so it will be the ground floor and then the basement, which is the dining areas primarily, and then on occasion the rooftop, which
Okay, so the two dining areas and on occasion the rooftop.
correct.
And I think for everyone's benefit, this is a senior living center, right? With
Correct.
assisted living or, right?
Is it assisted living?
Correct.
It
Yes.
is assisted living also?
Yeah, well, they
Is
noted,
it
yes.
section 202 housing or?
You can ask, I don't. We have another question, if you don't mind.
Is it section 202 housing or is it assisted living?
You're on mute, Laura.
It's assisted living. It's a fully licensed building. And it's full pay. Residents pay their full amount. There's no subsidies.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's not section 202. Thank you,
Okay.
Laura.
I think we need a lesson from you about the different forms of housing.
I got you.
Okay. Any other questions?
My question, so this is for the residents, should they want to, and the guests of residents, to be able to enjoy a cocktail when they're visiting their senior? Yeah,
But
Correct.
nobody can walk in on the street and ask for alcohol, who's not affiliated somehow with the residents.
This is typically wouldn't be the case for the on-premise, but of course it's a public license, but yes,
it's not a commercial establishment.
not a
it's-
commercial.
Got it.
So people can walk in and get a drink who are not affiliated with you.
Well, I think
Yeah,
they're
but
saying. I think
They
they're
don't
saying
like,
that,
people
yeah.
will not likely do that, yeah,
Great.
unless it's us.
No, it's, they're gonna have like Margarita Monday,
Mhm.
you know, or Mule Monday and Margarita Tuesday, whatever. Like,
All right.
For the elderly, you know.
And their
With some-
guests,
and their guests with some music.
yeah.
They're
Okay.
bringing
I think-
joy and spirits.
I say call the question unless
Yeah.
anyone else has.
So all those committee members in favor of approving the application at 333 West 86 for a full liquor license? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have anybody online?
Yeah,
Elizabeth,
9,
Elizabeth, how are you voting?
8. Liz, do we have your vote?
We can leave the vote open until she responds. It seems as a non-committee, right?
Right,
Okay, and
and you're in favor, non-committee, but we're looking for Liz. 1, 2.
I'm here and yes, I'm really sorry about the technical stuff. I'm just dealing with this family stuff.
okay, she's yes.
So
And-
that's
and-
8. And that's everybody on the
Yeah.
committee, 8,
Nobody
anybody,
opposed,
and
nobody
nobody opposed,
abstaining
nobody
or
abstaining,
ineligible.
abstaining for cause. All right, and non-committee SEMA approve, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, thank you. When are you going in front of SLT?
SLA.
SLA, SLT, SLA.
SLT
I had a
is
tough
the,
day
is the
today.
Pilates company.
Yeah.
I believe that we will be submitting soon, but I believe it would just be pending and
Right.
subject to just
You-
review.
You're welcome to our next full board meeting, which
March 3rd.
March 3rd?
March 3rd, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this will be voted on then.
yes,
I don't think it's particularly controversial, but
right, but you're welcome to the meeting.
Okay, noted.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, the second application is for 49 West 64th Street between Broadway and Central Park West. This is a change to the method of operation, in particular, changing the hours of operation and adding live acoustic jazz music every night until closing.
That's nice.
Okay. Who is here for this application?
Hey, good evening, community board members. Thank you so much for having me and guests as well. Congrats on the wedding, I think I heard earlier. And, I represent the restaurants Rampolding, Atlantic Grill that are located at 49 West 64th and 50 West 65th Street. We have an existing liquor license. We've invested in a grand piano over at Rampoldi and wanted to provide the guests and patrons that come there with some, light live jazz music, some background music so they can enjoy the atmosphere. And pre-game before the shows there at Lincoln Center, we're a big melting pot there of culture and art. So we thought this change of method would be great for the community and for the business, for patrons to be able to enjoy some live piano and upright bass during their meals dining there with us. We also had on our former license, we just wanted to extend our closing hours a bit. We realized that, in the community and the consumers there were hanging out with us a little bit later or wanting to hang out a little bit later with us. So we wanted to make a slight adjustment to our hours as well. But we're also open to what the community standard is there as far as closing hours. And we want to be in line with what the rest of the restaurants and venues are there in the community and just be able to be there to service our guests as best as possible with whatever, the board and the existing venues around us are providing as well.
Any comments or questions?
My only question is, what are the hours that you're extending to?
Currently, we were going to extend from Sunday to Thursday from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. and then Friday and Saturday from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. We don't anticipate that our closing time is going to be 1 or 2 a.m. We would be, midnight. But we just, there are folks that like to linger around or hang out, and we just didn't want to be in any violation or anything of that sort. It does die down fairly quickly in that area. We do realize where we're operating. So we just want to be able to make sure we're open during the hours that the community wants us to be there, and we're not violating, any laws with our licensing. That's all.
Right now, you're closed on Monday. Is that right?
It's a temporary close right now on Monday. We decided in winter, especially with the projections in the cooler weather, to go ahead and just not open that day and kind of condense our operating hours. As we move into April, we will be open back up on Mondays and then doing some brunch and lunch hours as well. We just kind of saw the wave of kind of where the volume is to condense operations here and kind of conserve our operations and, kind of better service guests when they needed us during this kind of slower volume time. And then, as we head into spring and Q4, we'll kind of buffer up those hours again.
Right now, your hours are only on average, till 9 p.m.
Yeah, again, the
Start
community. Yeah.
3.
What's that?
You started 3, you're open from 3 to 10 p.m. approximately.
We are on Saturday and Sunday opening at 3. It did seem like guests wanted to catch early dinners, especially with the shows at Lincoln Center. There was folks that were like, hey, after a early show or before a evening show, they were trying to catch an early dinner. So on Saturday and Sunday, we're servicing at 3 p.m. And then Monday through Friday, we start either at 4 or 5 p.m.
So now I'm confused. What are the hours you're looking for? Because I'm looking at what you have presently and what you're asking for. What you're asking for Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. Am I right?
It's just the closing time. So I think the lawyer that's helping us file here has, it was just supposed to be an adjustment on the closing hours.
Yeah, it's very modest hours. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Nobody has any, are there any community members here to speak about this application? Okay.
We did post as well, just so you're aware, we did post in our menu boards the notice that would be very clear for everyone. There's a lot of traffic through there to make sure, we got any appropriate feedback as well, which we're very open to. We just want to service the community there as best as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, and the music? We have any issue with live music, acoustic?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's call the question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All those in favor of the application for 49 West 64th Street, which consists of changes of hours of operation and adding live acoustic jazz every night until closing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any other board members?
Elizabeth?
Liz, are you yes or you're voting in
Elizabeth,
favor?
yes.
Yeah.
9.
Yes.
Okay.
All those opposed? For cause? Oh, it's unanimous. Non-committee board members. SEMA 1000. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to thank you all as well. Hope to host you all soon. You know, at either of the restaurants, hope to see your faces there. And then I've just never been here. Should I log off now or do I need to stay on or?
You're welcome to stay, but we will be voting at full board on
Right,
this. That's
right.
when it would presumably fully ratified, essentially.
Got it. I read that and I'll see you all on the 3rd then. Okay. And I really appreciate your
Okay,
time.
terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. I thought we would have community members here on this application, but I guess not. So we will turn to Ms. Marissa Yanni from the Department of Sanitation. My youngest daughter worked as an intern for the Department of Sanitation
Oh, that's so
a
cool.
couple of years ago.
Oh, that's
And I found her cap, which I wore all day. On Sunday, when it was so cold, you had to wear a hat inside.
Should call your landlord about that. Thank you so much. My name is Marissa Yanni. I'm a community affairs liaison with the Department of Sanitation, specifically the Manhattan liaison. Just here really to talk about commercial waste zones and then answer any other kind of business questions. We do have a whole bureau of commercial waste, so it's not like I'm just the only one talking about this and thinking about this. We do have a full team that thinks about commercial waste and businesses all night and day. So we are in Manhattan 7, and technically, your district should not worry about commercial waste zones for a while. You are in phase 8, sorry, because I have a lot of districts on here, and we are currently in phase 4. So don't worry too much.
entire
Yeah,
Board 7 district.
yeah. Communities Board 7 is gonna be, yes, you're not chopped up. Everybody's in one, yes. Thank you, that's a great question.
Oh,
You're not
that's
all
good.
chopped up,
Good
everyone.
question.
Yeah, you're not gonna have half, it's really only M5, I think that has that problem a little bit, because the way it spans is very annoying. But M7, you're totally fine, so you have a ton of time to worry about this, but essentially what it means is, starting when phase 8 starts, and I don't have the date in front of me just in case anything changes, so let's say 2027, because we only have 10 phases, so let's assume you're a bit later. Every single commercial business must contract with one of the 3 private carters that we tell them to contract with. So at the moment, you can choose anybody you want. You can choose some guy from the Bronx, the guy next to you can choose somebody from Manhattan. It's a free-for-all. That will no longer be the case. There will only be 3 private carters operating in all of M7. So they will figure out, how many they have on each block, but you're not gonna have all these different trucks rolling in and out of the district. So that's gonna be the huge difference that you're gonna see. Of course, if you are a business, it's a little difficult. We understand that. You will have to make a new contract if it's not one of your providers, let's say you're really lucky and it's already your vendor, you're fantastic. You might need to sign a new one, but you're otherwise keeping the same vendor. You will have to sign a new contract. And if you don't, we will assign one to you at the minimum service and the maximum price. You then have time to figure out how to get that to where it should be. And figure that out and negotiate your contract. We want you to negotiate your contract. So the businesses will have 2 months, about 2 months to get their contract signed and work with that vendor, with their carter, and then their service will start. And they decide what they need. Every business we understand is different. A restaurant is way different than a jewelry store. They do not need the same type of service. We are allowing businesses like they are now to join forces. If you got 3 jewelry stores next to each other, there's not a lot of waste coming out of there.
Can you
unless
do
they're totally
restaurant,
old.
jewelry store?
I mean, you could, yeah, let's say you're a big restaurant and next door you have like this really small jewelry store, like kind of upstairs or something like that. Yeah, you can work together and use the same bins as long as you both agree to that.
Okay.
And as long as whoever's on the bottom floor has that private carter sticker that says how, when your service is, then that's totally fine.
How did you choose the 3 that you came up with?
I do have that, I have the long answer to that,
Oh,
the official.
Give Barbara the long answer.
I will give you a long answer.
short
Because-
answer.
I also give you a short answer. So it was, we put out an RFP, put out, a call for
Okay.
proposals.
Yeah.
Whoever submitted to us the best price, who gave us a good proposal, they weren't horrible people. Like that's who we went with. Who gave it, you know, we look at how many accidents they've had. We look at how many complaints they had. We have a whole contracts team that went through that all over and over. I could just hand this to you, but I could find you that real answer, but it's just gonna take time and energy. But I can answer another question in the meantime.
How much time of anticipation will the restaurants and commercial
Mhm.
business owners have to make the decision and make the transition from the current vendor to one of the 3 vendors that you've selected?
Should be about 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 months they will have. And hopefully by the time we get to
So
your
so will you announce that like a year
Yes.
ahead of time?
No. We've already kind of announced it. Commercial waste zone is here.
Hmm.
We've already started
No, I
in multiple
understand that, but
zones.
if I'm in contract for the next 2 years
Mhm.
and I then get a 2-month notification,
Mhm.
I'm already in a contract.
Yep, you have to break it,
Cool.
you know.
So that's what I'm saying, has it been announced, like, don't get into extensive contracts, 2 month to month? Or has there been some kind of support in that way, some phase out or phase in, rollout conversations and communication sent to commercial business owners?
No.
Thank you.
No. I wouldn't say that, no. It's been announced. We've started in other districts. We're starting soon in Queens Northeast and Brooklyn South. I think it starts March 1st. Right, so things are starting. We're hoping everyone's paying attention. We understand not everyone is. Because our outreach workers, we have like these contracted folks, they're going door to door and doing phone calls for all the ones within those 2 months of the people that are in those zones. So that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping M7, the Upper West Side, will like be looking around at this time. They're not the first ones in Manhattan. M1 is gonna start in April. Yes, the outreach will start in April. So they can see how it's working downtown. And then see how it's coming up to M7 by 2027. But no, I wouldn't say, we didn't start calling Upper West Side businesses today and be like, oh, be careful, cause it's on you. essentially.
It could be longer than that or shorter than.
It could, there could be a small issue, yes, who knows, anything could happen the next 2 years. These other businesses, the Carters could collapse, they can get bigger, they could do, yeah.
So it's pretty easy to get out of a contract with a waste management.
Is that
Well,
right?
what?
It's a joke, and it's not. It's
I have a-
not.
I have a
That's why
question about
said
that. My-
Sorry, that's
so,
exactly why.
I remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, the hearings began at city council about this. And
Yes.
if I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the benefits to this was that trucks are not going to be zigzagging all over the city. This is a safety issue, right? So they're not going to be, zooming up and down. Again, I don't want to get over my skis here, but legally, if this is pursuant to New York City law, a contract between a restaurant and a vendor who's not allowed to be in that area anymore would be null and void. How could the law of New York City must be subordinate to any contract that's no longer lawful because they can't service the area. There's only 3 of them, right?
Right,
And then,
wait, so what are you, okay,
well, what I'm saying, the question that you asked was if someone is in a long-term contract, they have to break a contract, but typically, and I'm not a lawyer, but typically, if any contract is, no, but typically, if a contract is subordinate to the law, it is null and void.
Any contract.
Right.
Right.
So do we know who the 3 Carters are in CB7? Is
I
it
think
Action
so.
Carting, Waste Management?
Are you insinuating that the city might be liable for this breach of contract?
No, I'm saying that
No,
the
we
contract is
definitely-
unenforceable because it's
no,
no.
we won't be.
No, I'm saying how, if the Carter is no longer allowed to practice or service in the neighborhood, or there's
Well,
the
that-
contract is no
There'll
longer.
be litigation, cause I'm
Yeah.
sure somebody will want their money.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
Somebody's gonna wanna get paid. As of right now, I'm gonna say as of right now, because who knows?
It's as of right
As of
now.
right now, Manhattan West is gonna be Action Carting Environmental Services, Classic Recycling New York Corp, and Waste Connections of New York Inc.
That's 4.
It's 3.
No, three.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's a longer time.
Everyone has a long name.
Those are just for our district.
Just for M7, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about like how long the program is still going on? This obviously isn't something that just started with the new administration.
Yes.
A little bit of context, does the new administration
Ooh.
plan, does it seem like it's gonna keep going,
It has to
Yeah.
keep going.
Okay,
out.
got it.
The city council's pretty annoyed with us that it didn't start on time.
Understood.
Queens Central, that's like QS, what is that, like 3 and 4? You don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, you don't have
Something
to go
about
that
district.
granular, just like
Okay,
bigger
so
picture, yeah.
The middle of Queens. Think
Yeah.
about it like East Elmhurst and like
Yeah, yeah.
Woodside like that. They started on, Marissa, I can't read, January 3rd, 2025. So that
Okay.
started,
A year ago.
that's go. yes.
You're-
But that means it's
That's all I
been
could've said.
at sanitation for 3 or 4 years in the making.
It's 2020, I think.
Longer than that.
Okay, great.
So yes, we've had a team working on this for some time, and then next was the Bronx, all of the Bronx, we did that at once. And then right now, we're gearing up, well, we're in the middle of Brooklyn South, Queens Northeast.
And to Doug's point, has it had like positive safety results so far?
Yes, safety results, I cannot speak fully to.
Or just like
safety.
efficiency or whatever it was intended to do. This is so not my wheelhouse, so just
Yes,
whatever
yes,
it was
We've-
intended.
even right now for Brooklyn South and Queens Northeast, very high rate of contracts being signed. So people know to do this, we don't have to remind too many people to do this, which I like very much, because we're already in February. A lot of folks are signing their contracts, haven't seen too much issue with that so far. I don't have too much actual, I don't wanna say data, that makes me sound dumb, but I don't have
No,
too
it's so
much
new. of
to
course.
tell you about
Yeah.
Queens Central at the moment, but I think as we get, I know it's already been a year, but as we get a little bit further on, I'll see how well we're doing. I haven't heard any like fun stories at work that like this is failing. I haven't heard anything like that. Things are moving right along, and because we have to keep churning out these new districts, because it's gonna be 20 zones altogether, we were just kind of keeping our foot on the pedal,
It would
and we're
seem
just
this is
going
a
along.
much more efficient system than what exists now.
Totally.
We've seen.
I would say yes, I would say yes. No,
Just the only question would be like, when I hear there's only 3 contractors you're
Yeah.
allowed to use, that does sound like ripe for corruption if there was to be some. And I guess I was just curious, like, is it just traditional city council oversight that kind of protects against that in this case, or if this is kind of too pie in the sky? I guess that's just like what I hear, that I'm like, that stresses me out a little bit, to your point that it could have been anyone.
You sound like everybody in Brooklyn South. when I-
Sorry.
They were like, this sounds, I'm like, no, it's
Something's in the
not.
water.
No, yeah. Right, this is what the city council wanted, this is what they passed, this is what was decided on, we were like, sure, we're gonna do this. You still have an option, so it's not just Frank's Recycling,
Yeah.
right? But it is, you have three Franks that you can choose from, that you can get.
Frank, Frankie and Frank.
Right.
Exactly.
One of the,
Hopefully they're not all related.
being that, one
Don't,
of
come
the,
on. Try my best, I got the notes, I got everything I got.
one of the, and during the city council hearings, and to Miranda's point, they were concerned that this is going to inhibit free market, and that there could be collusion between a limited number who all speak to each other and say, we're not going to lower below a certain price. And at the time, I remember there was some enforcement mechanism that was going to ask for the city to try to negotiate these prices down so that the establishments weren't getting hurt. I hope that happens. Because
Yes.
it does sound ripe for, corruption.
That's what comes.
I hope not.
Is there a waste management?
We keep throwing
Yeah.
this word around.
Is there a method for you guys to do the RFP on a system basis to kind of revise and review like the card management?
Yeah, sorry, give me all of 2 seconds, because this thing is 6 pages long, and they have all the, when I sign a new contract, will there be a warning period? No, there won't be, beneficially, sorry, I apologize.
Every phase is essentially a part of town, section of town.
Yeah.
And they won't get to us until they're up to phase 8 approximately.
Well, we do not,
I think.
we don't
that's-
anticipate much change in these contracts. Okay, sorry. Well, we do not anticipate much change as these contracts are long-term contracts, 10 years with the option to renew for 2 additional 5-year periods. So you do have 10 years with the carders that we have, that we contracted with. Companies could leave the marketplace. We have several options as to how to address this. So I think that's really what, if they no longer want to do it, then we go back to the drawing board and we put out another RFP. But, so let's assume it's gonna be about 20 years, you're gonna have these 3 in M7, let's assume, if they stay around and they're doing great, you're gonna have these guys for 20 years. And after 20 years, we'll see, well, really after 10, then we'll see if they get the extension, but let's assume they do a great job. I'm hoping there's no corruption or collusion and it's gonna be perfect.
And the 3 companies for our district are not the same as the ones for the Bronx.
1 second, well, no, wait, Bronx has, yeah, you guys have Action, so do you have Royal too? Classic Waste and Action. The Bronx has Fibro, Action, Royal, Recycle, right, so Action's in a lot of zones, Action is in the Bronx.
It's a huge company.
It sounds like they're not prohibited from overlapping, but not guaranteed it'll be the same across every
Oh,
district.
100%, because Action is, I think, is in pretty much in every zone.
Okay.
They're a massive company.
Yeah.
That's- Interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So that is.
To make sure that our consumers are.
yeah, our people know.
And so the pickup from these private corridors, obviously coincides with the new regulations in terms of when restaurants can leave their garbage outside and the containerization of it. So it's obviously,
Yes.
which is not, you're not here to talk about that tonight, but obviously that
No,
is
yeah,
a whole
that's
new
right,
wave of regulations that just kicked in.
Yes, everyone will have to still follow that. That's not gonna change. Most private corridor service does happen in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, that's normally when it happens. So businesses, except for the folks that we just saw, they're open till 1 or 2 AM, you know, they're pretty much gonna be closed. Has to be out by 8 PM, or if they close earlier, like some delis do around businesses, like where I work in Lower Manhattan, you can put it out an hour before closing. As long as it's all containerized, you want everything containerized, trash, not recycled.
Right.
So that is all. So we do have time for M7. Again, I'm happy to answer any other questions that you may have, but this is coming. I will come back to you when
Okay.
we're in that two-month bracket. As you look at our bids and whatnot, let everyone know. I will give you my card. I don't think if you have mine already. Answer any question that you have. And again, if there's something I cannot answer, I will go to my, I will go to my commercial. I will go to my commercial waste team and get that answer for you. So you just bear with me. Some specific things that happen. A lot of people get the flyers and the notices, and some of them are churches. Some of them like, oh no, I received DSLI service, so it happens. We just want to make sure we're kind of sending it out to everyone, and then we make those adjustments as best as we can. But we are here to serve our business, you know, and to assist our businesses as much as possible. We're doing a lot of events. I mean, currently all of it's like in Queens and Brooklyn at the moment. But we are gonna be out there as much as possible, and you can watch us in M1 when that does start up. Please, you know, tell me if we're doing a good job or not, or if you just wanna yell.
No,
This-
it's not
this
really
is,
that.
No, not M7, no, I've never been.
Another question over
Yeah,
here.
well,
As of right now.
This is off topic, but since we have you here.
Oh, sure.
I'd be interested to hear,
Crank.
your, explanation and, what the leadership said about the problems with pickup during the snowstorms.
What problems during pickup? No, seriously, what problems did you say?
There were mounds of trash in our neighborhood for
Right.
days and days and days and days.
Right, so as protocol for every single snowstorm, an actual snowstorm, we have not had one in a long time, so some people may have forgotten. We have to clear all the snow first. We are in full snow operations first. All garbage collection is delayed or really paused, obviously for the first few days while it's still snowing, and you know, the day or two after, completely paused. This was way more snow than we've had in a long time. So we had to deploy our snow laborers, we had to get our snow melters out, we had to do all our equipment, had to go out. So we could not do collection as quickly as we normally do. Granted, here in Manhattan, again, it's a little different because you have larger buildings, so it's more garbage. People were still allowed to put their garbage out. I held mine, but again, I live in a house in Brooklyn, right? It's different. I can hold 2 bags of garbage. You can't hold 50 bags of garbage for the second floor. You know, it's not really possible. So yes, there were bags of garbage outside. We asked, and I spoke to every single elected official I could, please be patient with us. Because we are trying to, because I'm getting calls for snow at a bus stop, and I'm getting calls for the garbage. So what's taking precedence? A lot of people are yelling at me first about the snow. So we're removing as much snow as possible, and because it was so cold, I'm just giving you a little bit more of why this was a little bit harder. It froze so quickly, so it wasn't just some guy out there with a shovel. I really needed my front end loader, I actually needed the snow melter, and I needed a supervisor to watch, and I needed the big rack truck to put all the stuff in to bring it to the snow melter. So once I was finally done doing all that, I'm gonna pick up your garbage.
Luckily, the garbage was frozen too and not rotting.
Yeah.
The garbage was frozen too, I will say that did help, just a little bit. I smelled nothing walking up and down the street. You could tell me otherwise later, but so that is why. That it was delayed by so much. And again, I think it's a little more exasperated up here in Manhattan because you have so many more buildings, higher buildings, just more, it's just more densely packed. 100%. My neighborhood, it didn't seem that bad. Right, because I'm in a pretty residential neighborhood of
Okay.
Brooklyn.
I'm just trying to follow your logic that it had to be delayed until the snow removal was done.
Until most of snow removal operations were done. Because then
Okay.
once when we were still doing snow operations, we did kick into doing, what's the word? Doing collection in the overnight, because everyone was working 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So the first 12 hours was gonna be snow removal, second 12 hours, we could start doing collection.
Okay, because in our neighborhood, by Monday, all the snow was removed from the streets.
By
And
the,
the garbage was still, huh?
which
Not
Monday?
the sidewalk.
Sidewalks, so absolutely. And then
You
the
live.
garbage bags were like, still there 4 or 5 days later.
Like this past Monday or the Monday before that?
The snowstorm was on
On a Sunday?
a Sunday.
By
but-
Monday it was all gone?
Yeah.
Can I chime in? I live nearby, Dan. I have a bit of a different take on this, but
Okay.
just really quickly, and I'm sorry that I can't be there in person. I mean, yeah, there's still snow, but the I actually think that sanitation relative to other years, and I live on the block. I live on the 69th Street block, not on the avenue. And yes, there was trash here, but you know, I thought that it was handled pretty well and that the stuff was removed relatively quickly. And our neighbors also, at least many neighbors on our block, were sort of just grateful that the snow had been cleared first. And it was a little annoying, yeah, to have trash for a little while, but it wasn't out of the ordinary from a lot of people's side. So it's just a differing opinion. Your situation might have been different.
Okay, thank you, Liz. Alex wanted to say something? He raised his hands before, but
He gave up.
And just a,
I didn't, I didn't have
Yeah, go.
anything. I just wanted to say hi, Marissa and DSNY, best agency ever. And that's it.
Thank you,
And
Alex.
Marissa, for clarification, the garbage trucks that otherwise would pick up garbage convert to plows. So is
We put the
that
plows on,
right?
Yes.
So the garbage trucks aren't picking up garbage anymore because they're plowing. Is that?
Yeah, well,
correct?
especially the first day or two when we had all that snow on the street, then yes, we were solely focusing on removing the snow. You could still pick up garbage with the plow on, because you just lift the plow. But right, with the main concern is getting rid of we can't drive, emergency vehicles can't drive unless we actually get rid of the snow.
Got it.
And then it was just so much on the corners, on the bus stops, on some other pedestrian
Yeah.
areas. We wanted to make sure people can get around.
Gotta make a choice.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. What's
Snow
up?
operations is a little bit of a beast at work. Man, sanitation, obviously. Yes.
Anybody else questions? But I really appreciate that you came here, Marissa.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope I was able to answer everyone's
Yeah.
questions.
We'll see you again.
Whatever you want.
Mhm.
That's what I'll do.
All right.
It's not a
Really,
problem.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, no worries. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you,
too.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Travel safe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Watch out.
And now we have Michael Gonzalez, who is the new director. ED means what? Executive Director of the Columbus Amsterdam bid.
So quick correction, I am the interim executive director, for a bit, so I'm not definitive on the executive director position yet. but-
Okay.
When did you start?
Last week, or 2 weeks ago, so.
Okay.
Were you working for them before?
Yes, I've been involved with the bid as a volunteer, intern, part-time, full-time for about 11 years now, so,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And we were saying before the meeting, you have family that has businesses in the area.
Yeah, so, I grew up in the neighborhood and same within our bid district, and then I also have, my parents co-own a restaurant on 101st in Amsterdam.
Terrific. Yeah, good to be part of the neighborhood. What's your plan? Even as the interim, you may be the,
I mean, my plan is just to kind of get everything settled in. We're gonna take a little bit of the bid as a whole with the board, all of us are working together to kind of move over some transitional things. Because I've been there for a long time, they're working with me for the next year to kind of update all of our policies and just kind of getting a sense of everything documented and procedural wise. And then after that year, we're gonna go and do a formal election, whether that's me, whether that's somebody else, but we want to make sure that this is an election of hopefully a director that will be here for a longer time.
now, I think Natasha sent you an email about the other bids posting where on the CB7 website?
Yeah, so SBS, Small Business Services has a website about, shop your city, shops individually. And one of the things that Natasha noticed was that our bid was missing from that. And it could have been a mix up between Columbus Avenue and Columbus Amsterdam.
Uh-huh.
So I emailed them about that situation.
Great,
Our
great.
businesses are listed there, it's just not, we're not listed as an individual area.
Okay, so you're gonna follow up on that because, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important part of it.
Yeah. Anything else you have as a goal for the bid?
I mean, things we started doing is kind of tracking, a better sense of tracking vacancies and kind of doing a better reporting of that. So, since the last quarter, we reported drop of vacancies from like 11% to 7%. So that's just, it means 19 of our storefronts are vacant of some manner or another.
Oh, yeah, what area does this cover?
Yeah,
The
so,
streets.
the Columbus Amsterdam bid covers from 96th Street to 110th Street.
Right,
Most of the avenues, Columbus and Amsterdam avenues.
I see.
There's a
Okay,
weird, wrinkle on 100th to 96th, where it's just one side of the avenue.
yeah, you know, you have an expert here on bids.
Mhm.
But you knew that.
Not really.
She's a hard worker, let me tell you, and very modest, very
And a former
modest.
ED.
I've been
Yeah.
aware of your work.
What you may not know is that 20 years ago, I fought with Peter and we had him come to our board meeting. My board was very upset when you wanted to change your name from the Lenape Bloemendaal bid
Right.
to Columbus Amsterdam, since we knew that there'd be a lot of conflict. And there always was. Throughout my 20 years there, I constantly got calls for Peter. So.
I'm still getting calls for Columbus Avenue bid still to this day and occasionally emails, so.
Well, that's a good way to exchange information or find out information anyway. All right, well, we welcome you. We hope you're on as a permanent
Yeah,
ED.
good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything we could do for you?
Yeah,
Things that I have questions about, I just, if there are, things that are kind of going on throughout our district are, we have a couple of security issues, not recently, actually 2 robberies recently in our district, but I think there were local people that were kind of, our precinct kind of had a following through, so they knew who it was and they were able to catch them, I believe. But the other thing is just like ongoing, corners in specific areas of our district that have, high increase in drug trades, I guess, and so that's causing a little bit of uneasiness between them. If you guys have had any experiences with that or luck, that would be great to kind of get that, or it helps to create a documentation at the community board level that might be able to help them get a little bit more attention. That's also something that I would be able to help with, and just understanding any processes that you guys work with businesses and how we can be a voice for them as well going forward.
On the security issue, you're within mostly the confines of the 2-4 precinct. Do you guys attend the community council meetings or speak with the former NCOs or Q teams?
Yeah, so I have a good relationship with the NCOs. We are, and now the Q teams, and our community affairs liaisons. I attend the council every other period, so it's not as consistent, but it's, I try to do it at least once a quarter.
Great.
Do you attend the bid association meetings?
I do tomorrow, and I think we have, our second quarter, so.
You could find those very interesting and you could ask any questions that you would like. And, somebody will guide you. I'm sure more than one person will volunteer. Some of the older big directors, very, very nice about taking, people who are new into the fold, exactly. That'd be great.
Mentoring
Yeah.
capacity building.
They
Right.
do have a mentoring committee, which has reached out to me already,
They
so
do.
that's been
Good,
great.
great, okay, that's good.
good to know, good.
You should be aware, we recently launched a public safety task force for the community board. One of the first acts was to release a survey of residents and business operators to get their input on their concerns, and priorities. So, I would definitely encourage you to share that with your
Yeah,
members.
forward along, I would be glad to do it. We're doing a outreach about the roll down gates and implementations coming around in July, so we're letting them know. We're trying to find funding to be able to kind of have somebody on staff to be able to help with those issues, or hopefully help make them compliant if that's a possibility, but.
And the roll down gates,
The 70% visibility.
yeah, transparency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. FYI, there was your task force, the Public Safety Task Force meeting was recently on February 9, so you might want to go on the CB7 website, or maybe you could listen to the meeting.
Or
Or,
come back to
Yeah,
the next
come-
one.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, or come to the full board meeting.
Is
Yes.
Two.
Monica still on that mentoring committee?
I've only talked to Cordelia right now, so I don't know if she's still on it. Yeah, she might be, but.
You could reach out to her, she knows everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. So I'll do that. Yeah, I need a little bit of understanding, just like what best processes, what steps to follow, I guess, to make things a little bit more. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Michael Gonzalez, this was informative.
Thanks.
Best of luck. We know this is hard work.
And other update from us is we are doing our open streets. We applied for our open streets this year. We don't, haven't heard about confirmation yet, but that's for July through October for the season.
I don't think that application comes before BCI or transportation.
It isn't an
Because it's
application.
not an app, yeah.
Which is, some people
Just
were not
permission.
happy about that, but it's, yeah, information, but it's, we don't have to pass it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Just figured it'd be related to business.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. All right, thank you very much. Before, do we have any new business? But I want to apologize to you, Miranda, for not getting back to you.
No worries,
But-
but I did speak to Natasha.
The-
I'd love to talk about it as a group.
Okay,
Yeah.
the gods, though, maybe are on our side because of Julie Menin's,
Mhm.
Well, yeah, so just to, for anyone who wasn't here last meeting, and I've kind of been a dog with a bone about this, about wanting to get this committee specifically, more useful in support of businesses doing outdoor dining.
uh-huh,
I mean, I think that we could be a model for the rest of the city. Obviously, I know we care about the Upper West Side, but I think it's a citywide problem. So at the last meeting, I proposed using one of our committees to be kind of like a hearing, if you will, like an informal hearing, come complain to us from that neighborhood, business, restaurant owners, because, the way I've seen it is that the city has kind of jerked around restaurant owners with changing policies every 5 minutes, buy a propane lamp, don't use a propane lamp. Josh, I'm sure knows a lot. I mean, I'm not a restaurant owner at all, and this is not my business, but I just think that there's been a lot of changes, right? Build a shed, now you have to go store the shed, and you don't have any space to store a shed because you never had a shed before. So.
and there's no space.
And
to
there's no
store
space,
the
right? And
shit.
so I think there was a brief season in the spring where we were working with the transportation committee because the application seemed to need both of our approval, and then Josh helped to clean that up because it was such a headache and so ridiculous. Right, it was ridiculous, and I do think that especially those applications, the way they were formatted, really were not for, I think the untrained eyes of us without being like, is this 8 feet from this? Like, that's really not what we're here to do. So I was really.
Yes,
pushing for
we
this.
are.
Well, no, I know, I'm just giving back. I know, hold on a second. Oh, you can go. Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
know, I really apologize.
No, don't apologize.
But I have to go.
Totally fine.
Thanks,
Um,
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm just,
Travel safely. Barbara.
Yeah,
and I won't take long, I promise. What I really want to do is use this committee to do something for restaurant owners and show them that we're on their side and that we support them and et cetera, et cetera. I had a talk with Natasha, who's basically said that she took a long look, and I don't want to speak for her, she can correct the record if anything I misstate, but she basically said that she looked at all the rules that currently face outdoor dining, and she basically said it's a transportation issue, not a BCI issue, which I think, given by how much time we've spent discussing at this committee, I just disagree with that.
yeah, me too.
Me too.
On every level, and I'm not denying that there's a lot of interface with transportation.
Thank you.
And I'm not denying that a lot of the actual approval, denial, 8-foot rules from the planter, I'm well aware that that is all transportation's purview. But I do think with the voice and muscle that this committee has, that to do nothing about it would be a real abdication of the quite little responsibility that we have.
Yeah, I think most of us agree with you.
Right, so
I see head
and
shaking.
Dan, thank you for sharing the article about Julie Menon. I was super excited to hear that, and I think that that was actually awesome, because I think that that helps us, gives us a little bit more direction and focus. I would still love to have one of our committee meetings, and if we get our act together, we can do it for next month's meeting, to say, hey, Upper West Side restaurant people, come complain to us, right? We can get stuff on the record, and then we can have a resolution that just says, we know that the city council is now working on this issue. Here are the issues that restaurant owners on the Upper West Side have mentioned that we want to make sure you are listening and thinking about as you fix this policy, right? And I really do think time is of the essence, because before you know it, it will be March, it will be April, and all of a sudden that is thousands of revenue a day for a restaurant if we don't get our act together. And so I think if we can be there's so many different bids, there's so many different groups, right? Like, I understand there's a lot of different voices. If we can be a voice where we have nothing to gain out of this, we have no financial, if we can just say, hey, we want these businesses to thrive, here's what they've told us, and it's a resolution, and we get one headline in the West Side Rag or Street Blog or wherever, then I think that we're using our power for good.
Okay, you wanted to say something?
Bravo.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, I don't know that bringing people to one space to complain is going to leverage the amount of information that we can collect if we put together like a survey, like a Google survey, a Google Doc survey with whatever questions, and then it all goes into one spreadsheet that we can just share.
Why not, I guess why not both, right? Because I sometimes think the in-person testimony, like I worked in public engagement on redistricting stuff and different government stuff. And look, on one hand, there, no one can ever be everywhere at once. On the other hand, we have people Zoom into these meetings, right? The link is public. We could have a survey attached to it, say, you know, you can't make it, fill out this survey. But I do think there's some power of having the convening of just being like, there's a meeting, you get to talk to someone. You know, you have 10 faces listening to you, right? I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I really do feel like these restaurant owners have been really jerked around by the changing
No,
rules.
I'm not.
Totally.
I'm not. into
I guess I love that idea. I would love to do both. if you'd be
Right,
open.
what I'm saying is, cause what I find when you open up the forum, and I do this all of the time.
Totally.
Right? Cause I hop around from communities.
But we'll get
to
people who
communities.
complain about the
I have over
sauce, right? We
1,800
can't do anything
communities that I
about
have to deal with, and I would hop around. And when you put these forums together, you'll get the 1 or 2 people that kind of take all of the space, right? And then you kind of miss the other folks. So to me, it's like if you select specific people, like have people email you, and then you invite, I think there needs to be a selection process for the people that are gonna be, providing testimony, right?
That I would push it. I would not
I
agree with
think what you say
that.
has validity, but
Yeah.
time is of the essence here.
Yeah.
I think that
No.
those, to make a survey and have it vetted and approved and back and forth just takes a lot of
A long
time. And I think that we're just up against a clock, because, you know, like Miranda said, it doesn't look like it outside today, but the warm weather's gonna be here in a
No,
month,
so
and people wanna be on the streets.
Miranda,
But I would be open to having a survey option.
Yeah,
whether, you know-
yeah,
It
talk
doesn't
to,
matter to me.
No,
just-
I
my-
appreciate
my-
that. That's
My
helpful.
thing is, you know, I've been to so many of these
No,
things,
of course.
all these town hall meetings, I go to all of them, and I know what happens.
No, of
But
course.
This is a
that's what
rare,
you want,
this
then
is a
we'll
rare
figure
instance
it
where
out.
we want people to bitch.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, but
yeah,
let me
no,
just-
we want
Come
productive
fetch.
bitching,
Come
right?
fetch.
come fetch.
We want productive
Talk
information.
to Jessie also.
Okay.
Tell
Yeah.
her,
Right.
we said it's okay, you know, about how we should do this.
And I would love to use our committee time. I mean, I don't know what's on the agenda for, I know we can't
Uh-huh.
predict what's on the
Right.
agenda.
Yeah,
but
true. I thought we would
the-
have
the
a
liquor
large
license
agenda,
stuff,
for
we can-
instance.
It goes pretty fast. We can make it go even
Yeah,
faster.
yeah.
If that's, you know, a problem,
Yeah.
so. That's
Doug,
fine.
I just want, first of all, brava, Miranda, because I think, as you mentioned, you know, I think the wind is behind our back right now with the
Right.
new administration and Julie Menon. It's also not a coincidence that we have an embarrassment of riches. We have the executive director of the Hospitality Alliance as a member, and they represent thousands of restaurants and are
Mhm.
always advocating for the betterment of restaurants and everything that we could imagine and more, including the 365 days of roadway dining and less violations and easier permitting and so on, whole list of things. So I agree. I think one of the best things is also going to be that hopefully there's going to be rules making at city council. And if there's a specific bill, then, and we get that specific bill number, then we can make a resolution supporting that bill. Because that's one thing we can actually do in
yeah,
real
we can
time.
do that. right.
Because that's, and the other thing, just on background, so I've also been on this committee for as long as I've been on the board, and, you know, prior to the pandemic, all of the cafes were always handled by the former name of Department of Consumer Affairs, which is now what is it, WPC?
Worker Consumer Protection.
Right. And one of the things that maybe you read and heard Julie Menon say is that she wants to bring it back to which is great, because during the road, and we were here during the pandemic when the roadway even was created, and we were even trying to negotiate and weigh in on where the roadway was, and it was DCA, and then it got handed over to DOT, which a lot of people were very upset about because they didn't think DOT was possible, you know, were set up properly to handle it, and they weren't for a while. So, you know, that's sort of like how this all happened. I think it's going to go back. And then it would be less germane in the DOT, in our transportation committee and more. So I think this is absolutely a BCI committee. It was born out of here. It only went to DOT
And
because
that's
they,
exactly my point. It went to DOT yesterday, it can go back somewhere.
Yeah,
else
yeah, and I
tomorrow.
think-
These are not
and I think
long,
that's afoot. I think that Julie Menon wants it to be sent back, but,
So
yeah.
you're gonna talk to Jessie.
Sure,
How we-
yeah.
And we should ask
Can I just
Andrew
make a
what,
suggestion?
And you, oh, yeah,
This is
just
a
one more
committee,
thing,
I don't
sorry.
wanna.
Yeah, no.
Next, we've asked Andrew to come in and talk about the business. He couldn't do that this month. He'll do that next month.
Okay.
So
it's
we'll
been
get,
very published too about what the wish list of all things
yeah,
that he sent to some op-eds about, you know, the wish list of all the things that we could do better as a city for restaurants. It's,
Absolutely.
and it's, you know, sure we could source that.
So he'll be
Yeah,
a
and so my
speaker.
thing is, we don't wanna lose that, the essence
Mhm.
of that through like the crazy, the potential crazy.
But we may have some hyper-local issues here in this neighborhood that are not necessarily citywide that
Right.
we want to
We
hear
wanna make
from.
sure it get elevated as a citywide approach is
Sure.
being crafted.
Yeah.
That is like the reason that we as a board can contribute to a citywide.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a little more direction. I'll speak to Natasha.
Well, I was gonna say, in that spirit
Yeah,
of
sorry, Dave.
elevating it,
Yeah.
I would suggest we do either a public forum or a field hearing that has its own
Right.
thing, and not shoehorning it into a committee.
Correct.
Sure, yeah, I guess I just sort
Because
of like.
that will get more attention and it will signal to people that
I
this is
agree with that.
important
Sure.
if we're doing a dedicated hearing.
I guess
And then,
I just worry about like, can we still use the space, like, in terms of,
Well,
you
that's
know?
why that's,
We can get other space.
you
Well,
can get
yeah,
other
we-
space.
You don't have to-
It actually might be better to get other
we
space
used to
because then you can
do
get
business
more
to
attendance.
business,
I don't think we should do it out of
meetings
business, yeah.
We can use
in
the
different
schools.
spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go
We
out
can
there
use
and
the
beg for
schools, the
space.
youth center.
And then
Museum.
I was thinking that we might want to invite someone from Menon's office to come
Correct,
and speak about what their
absolutely.
plans are.
Personally, I want this to be focused on what restaurants are dealing with, right? I don't wanna give them more lip service about things that haven't happened yet. That would just be my.
Well, no, but
opinion.
by inviting them, then you get the opportunity for them to speak to power, right?
That sounds like something that would be interesting for a committee meeting,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
But I don't know, I just personally don't know if that's our job to connect those two.
There's a kind of an unwritten rule at city council so Julie Menon obviously is now the speaker, but her district is the east side.
Yeah.
Typically, the city council member of a particular district doesn't come into Gail Brewer's district unless invited.
Right.
I mean, it's unofficial, but it would be more, it's sort of a kind of a
Yeah.
Yeah,
protocol.
well,
But
we
it's
ask
not
Gail to
central
invite
staff.
them.
To his
There's a lot of
point,
central
it's an
staff.
opportunity.
Well,
to
focus
invite all
on-
the elect-
Yeah.
Focus on what you were talking about.
Well, no, I mean, I'm open if, I don't, and this is not.
And
Please.
In the interest of like saving time and focusing on it, could we dedicate an hour of the next meeting to having people come talk here, just here at this meeting, at the end of the meeting?
People from restaurants? and-
Yeah, like what she's talking about doing.
I
Well,
mean, if
we-
everyone
we-
thinks a separate
yeah.
event, I'm flexible, I don't.
Well, we're gonna have Andrew here.
Well,
So
the thing
I
about
hope
a
that-
separate event is that people who are on the board or whatever have commitments to,
Yeah.
they make a commitment to this. To ask people to make a commitment to another meeting is,
Yeah.
there's something.
Right, and
a lot
I
to
really
ask.
don't wanna have no one show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the
Right.
on the preservation
No, I
committee,
don't
we
think
had
so.
Oh,
our
of
meetings
course,
were
I'm
just
sorry, I
that.
didn't want
Right.
to
So,
see two
like-
people and then it looks like we don't care because it's a
No, no,
scheduling thing.
we'll
That's
be
all.
there, we'll
I-
be there.
I love the idea. But I think that we actually have a good grasp on what the issues are with a lot of the restaurants, particularly because of the work of Alliance and other SBS. I don't know that we're gonna learn anything new. Maybe we will,
I
but.
mean, the only way.
But it's
to
about
roll
generating
with it is to
momentum
not do it.
and
No, I'm
support.
not,
No, I understand, like, I guess the point is like, I can try to guess some of these issues and you're closer to this professionally, so maybe you know more, but.
I don't think it's about educating us. I think it's about
Putting it on
elevating
the
the
record.
issue and showing momentum
say
for
It's
change.
about providing a space where they have a voice.
Right, giving them a platform.
Right, a platform, but
Sure.
the thing, but for me, it's about making sure that that platform is maximized.
Yeah.
By the people that need to maximize it to leverage what Miranda's trying to leverage.
Mhm.
However, if it's a free-for-all and it's not like a targeted thing, then,
We're
we
taking
don't know
two
what we're
steps
gonna
back.
get. It's like a rabbit out of the hat.
Well, that's where you can incorporate what you were talking about, the people who can't make
Survey,
it to the
yeah.
hour-long thing at the end of our next
No.
meeting, they
No, I
can submit
totally
their
get
stuff
it.
in
Yeah,
writing.
yeah,
Cause you don't want it to be messy,
right.
cause then it makes it look like we're.
I mean, look, we could do a time limit the way
Yeah,
we do it.
right.
We have to
Yeah.
do that.
No, we
Right.
need 2 minutes.
Yeah.
We would
We
do
have
all
to do
that
that,
with the
yeah.
time, with the time people.
You know,
That's
So
all.
first step, Jesse, find out how she wants us to do this, and then we'll
yeah,
organize
of
it,
course.
all right?
Do we think there's enough time between now and the next committee meeting for this to get?
Again, as soon as you
Calendar.
can talk to
Talk to
Jesse,
Jesse.
yeah.
And I guess most of the issues are citywide. There's some state level issues around, liquor licenses taking a long time, and there's ADA issues, which is federal.
Mhm.
But I guess we'll hear the full grouping of whatever
Mhm.
people are
Absolutely.
struggling with.
Full Monty.
It'll give us some meat for a resolution to say we heard from restaurant owners XYZ and we hope you consider this in your planning going forward.
Okay,
Right.
good point, good point.
So,
Okay, anything else? So shall we adjourn the meeting? Thank you, everybody.
Thank
We will
you.
see you at the full board meeting. Thank you for your input. Thank you, And really, Miranda, accept my apology.
No, please, I'm glad, look, the powers that be aligned, Julie Menon.
Boy, did I
said it
get
before
lucky,
No, I'm
right?
saying like, when I saw that, I was like, great, I can let this go a little because someone with much more authority is taking the charge, which I love. So.
We'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
We're just gonna have to fight
And,
the,
and meeting, and meeting.
Okay, we'll do.
That.
How many of us are on both committees?